Welcome to the Brunswick Beat,
Brunswick County's only television news show, brought to you by the Brunswick Beacon. I'm Rachel Johnson.
and I'm Stacey Manning. Local veterans had reason to celebrate Monday as VA officials hosted a ribbon cutting at the new Veterans Outreach Clinic in Supply. The clinic, which is scheduled to open to patients Monday, August 15th, is at 20 Medical Center Campus Drive, just off US 17. Here's what Congressman Mike McIntyre had to say about Brunswick County's veterans and their service to our country.
And why are we free? Because of the brave men and women who've worn the uniform, who've stood up for our country when it wasn't easy, when it was the hottest of the hot, when it was the coldest of the cold, or the darkest of night, or the dreariest of the days, who stood up and fought for our freedoms. And we owe you all, our veterans, a great debt of gratitude this country can never adequately and fully repay. But one thing's for sure, you deserve to get every benefit that you have earned. And God bless you, and thank you for your service. Let's give them all a big hand.
Anyone who would like more information can call the clinic at 754-3332.
The town of Carolina Shores and former Assistant Town Administrator Amanda Chestnut have agreed to a $14,000 settlement. That's the amount the town will pay Chestnut after she was fired from the town last year. Chestnut's lawsuit claimed the town breached a contract she signed with the town about a year after she was hired in July 2008. The contract was effective through October 31, 2011, and ensured Chestnut an annual salary of $41,400. Seniors in the Ash area are upset and claim they are being discriminated against. Brunswick Senior Resources closed the nutrition site on June 30th and no longer serves hot lunches to the seniors in the area. Seniors are encouraged to go to the senior site in Charlotte. According to BSRI, attendees at the Ash and Northwest senior sites were warned in the spring they had to increase participation or the programs would be closed because of budget constraints. Norbert Carlisle is not happy with this situation. Let's hear what he has to say.
We feel like we've been unjustly treated with the closing of our center, and if it's due to money problems or whatever it might be, you know, we just feel like we're not being done justice. And
he and other seniors from the Ash community want to see their center reopened. They say they want to be treated equally.
By next month, parents, students, and members of the public will be able to watch Brunswick County Board of Education meetings online. With attendance at monthly meetings historically low, board members think airing meetings online may allow more people to see what's going on at board meetings. The September board meeting should be available online at the school system's website, www.bcswan.net. The first meeting should be available online within 4 to 5 days after the meeting, with the ultimate goal to have the meetings online within 2 days. Officials with the North Carolina Forest Service and Brunswick County Fire Marshal Scott Garner have announced county and state burn bans that have been in effect since June 22nd have been lifted. Though recent rainfall has reduced fire danger, we are still under drought conditions. If drought conditions linger, officials may have to reinstate the bans.
The town of Sunset Beach will charge a $50 fine for people who violate the town's garbage can rollback ordinance. The town law mandates residents can roll out trash cans no earlier than 6 p.m. the day before garbage pickup and must have the cans rolled back by 6 p.m. on the day of pickup.
Senior resident Superior Court Judge Ola Lewis is appealing last month's loss in her libel lawsuit against local political activist Ed Rapp. On Monday, Lewis filed a notice that she planned to appeal the matter to the North Carolina Court of Appeals. Lewis sued Rapp, a former campaign strategist, for libel and defamation for an April 2010 blog post in which he wrote during a heated Republican primary election.
Detectives are asking for help from anyone who was in the Grissettown area between 6:45 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Tuesday, August 2nd. They are looking for a shooting suspect believed to be a white male in his 20s. The man allegedly shot another man in the abdomen with a small caliber handgun. The victim was hospitalized but is expected to make a full recovery. The shooting took place on the side of the road at the intersection of Seaside Road and US 17. Anyone with information or who may have witnessed the assault is asked to contact Detective Tony Kaysen at 253-2777. A Little River, South Carolina man has been arrested for an armed robbery that happened in Supply last week. Investigators say John Seward, 24, entered a home on Junction Way August 4th. He had a handgun and led the resident into a bedroom where he demanded money from her purse. He then fled in a BMW. Detectives arrested Seward the next day. He was charged with robbery with a dangerous weapon, felony breaking and entering, and felony larceny. Additional charges are pending.
An 18-year-old supply man has been arrested for a string of break-ins in the Holden Beach area. Brandon Evans was arrested August 5th at Food Lion and has been charged with 20 counts of breaking and entering into a motor vehicle, 12 counts of misdemeanor larceny, 1 count of attempted first-degree burglary, and 1 count of attempted breaking and entering to a motor vehicle. Read all these stories and much more in this week's Beacon, which is available on newsstands now.
The Brunswick County Dixie Boys baseball team won the Dixie Boys World Series. They defeated opponents from Louisiana August 3rd in Beaufort, South Carolina. Shelton Perkins, the winning pitcher finished with 10 strikeouts, and Kevin Perkins hit a 2-run home run. Head coach Bobby Scoggins said he knew he had a strong team. He said they had focus, speed, good pitching, hitting, and were kids willing to leave it all out on the field. Shaquem Graham said the team got along like a family and did not fall apart. The county celebrated with a welcome home reception last week. Also in baseball, the Junior Dixie Boys came in a close second in their World Series against Monroe, Louisiana. Louisiana finished unbeaten in the series, and Brunswick's only losses were at their hands. Brunswick coach L.C. Piggott said the Brunswick team didn't get started like it wanted, but it battled back. With 14 seniors and 6 of them projected starters on the 51-player roster, West Brunswick High School football coach Jimmy Fletcher knows this football season is the foundation for the Trojan team for the next 2 years. The biggest difference this year, Fletcher said, is he is platooning his players, something he has never done. 3 all-conference players are returning from last year, and one of them is senior quarterback Taylor Buffkin. Fletcher said the position where the Trojans have the most depth on defense is at linebacker, the strength of the team. West will be without Markel Jones, perhaps the most dynamic player on offense last year. He is recovering from a shoulder injury. West's first game is 7:30 p.m. August 17th at Hoggard High School in Wilmington. Knox Harris, an Ocean Isle Beach surfer who learned the trade from his dad, is having success in the Pro-Am division. Harris, 16, recently competed and won the Wrightsville Beach Reef Pro-Am competition July 16th at Wrightsville Beach. Harris's parents, Sarah, a local realtor, and Ray, who owns Sharky's restaurant in Ocean Isle Beach, have allowed Knox to move to Wrightsville Beach where the waves are better and he can practice every day. East Coasters have always yielded to the West Coast Surfer Boys, but Knox, competing in the National Scholastic Surfing Association July 2nd through 3rd in Huntington Beach, California, placed 3rd in a field of 64 in the Open Juniors Finals. Knox Harris also finished 3rd in Open Juniors and 4th in Open Men's in the NSSA East Coast Championships April 7th through the 10th at New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Those results qualified him for the Nationals in Huntington Beach. His next tournament is East Coast Surfing Championships, the biggest competition on the East Coast, which is on August 27th in Virginia Beach. Find weekly sports updates and many great photos in the sports section of your weekly Beacon.
I'm Laura Lewis. I'm here at Cattails today with Trish Kelly, the manager, and she has a new friend. And can you tell us about him, Trish?
This is Sammy. He's a 4-year-old male cat, and he's a wonderful pet. He's very friendly, just needs a good diet. He's a little overweight. He's about 20 pounds, and he needs maybe some light food. We're having our special in August. We're having a high five sale, so all of our adult cats will only be $5 to adopt. They'll still have all the usual vet services and shots and shot records and everything, but we're only charging $5 so we can get people to look at the adults. They come in, they look at all the cute kittens, nobody looks at the adults, and we have some wonderful cats here.
You really do. You've got some beautiful cats. So come on out to Cattails and visit with these beautiful adult cats. And there are kittens here too. Got plenty of them too. And y'all are open to the public from 11 to 1 on Wednesdays and on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 to 3.
Yes. And you can check out Sammy and all of our other cats on our website at cattails.org. All their pictures are on there.
Great. Okay, Trish, thank you. And thank you, Sammy.
Hey Stacy, did you hear any loud booms in Shiloh early Saturday morning?
Actually, I didn't, but I knew what to expect, and this time I knew they weren't the Seneca guns. And if you heard several loud booms sometime before 6 a.m. Saturday, this time they can actually be explained. They were from cannon fire during the filming of a national television show right here in Shiloh. And if you thought you saw Will Ferrell wandering around the area last week, it might just have been him. The movie star was in town filming scenes for the HBO series Eastbound and Down. The cast and crew set up camp at Ronnie and Clarice Holden's home. For photos and more details, pick up this week's Beacon.
The old Sunset Beach Bridge isn't gone. It's certainly not forgotten, and it's still stopping traffic in Sunset Beach this summer. The Old Bridge Preservation Society is working to preserve it and raise funds to convert it into a future museum and interpretive center on Shoreline Drive West. A local engineer has been demonstrating his working scale model on the bridge.
When we got downstairs and cranked the motor, we raised the ramps. After we raised the ramps, we was ready to swing it open. Anyhow, this is where it opened. Okay, when we got it open that far or further, it would be open in a 90 degree, then we would drop this cable.
And that's so the boat, it would have to go down before the boat could go across.
We would drop that. Now, you got to also realize, we give a signal before the boats come through and a signal when we was closing. And after we drop the ramps, then we would raise our gates. And then I would throw the lights back on automatic, and the mainland side always went first.
With the 10th anniversary of the September 11th approaching, metal artist David McCune was inspired to create something to remind Americans never to forget. McCune's design of the World Trade Center Twin Towers and the Pentagon is being used on commemorative labels of wine available at Silver Coast Winery. 10% of proceeds will be donated to first responders. You can find out more about the wine and the labels in next week's Brunswick Beacon.
This is all to scale. 1 inch equals 350 inches. And 2 twin towers, the Pentagon, the airplanes. So this is all to scale, so you can actually see the shapes and the size of all the different entities as it relates to the 9/11 project.
Hey Rachel, how exciting was it to be able to get behind the scenes for Eastbound and Down last week?
It was really fantastic, and a big thank you goes out to Ronnie and Clarice Holden for opening their home and allowing me to the chance to share in the movie magic that was right here in Brunswick County. As we close out this show, our Beacon Spotlight is going to shine on more from behind the scenes of HBO's Eastbound and Down.
And don't forget, if you know of a story or a person you'd like to see featured on Brunswick Beat, email us at brunswickbeat@brunswickbeacon.com, look us up on Facebook at Brunswick Beacon, or follow us on Twitter at Brunswick Beacon. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.